Okay, so welcome. So we're going to do a practice of Same Vritti, which basically means, well, for all intents and purposes, it means even breathing. So we're essentially going to be using a reclining setup to practice the Ujjayi technique, where we extend the in-breath and the out-breath. And I've got my iPad here, so we're going to use a metronome that's on the iPad, and I'll talk us through it. So Rachel's already set up the 3 black foam blocks here, and then if you just go for it, Rach, pull the blanket across. So you see, having done the 3 foam blocks, they're widthways deliberately so that the full, the broadness of the rib cage is going to be supported. Okay, and then she pulls the blanket over the top. And then we use the second blanket to raise the head and the neck slightly. So she's putting that one there. Okay. Now the other thing to mention is Rachel's going to just extend the legs because she's basically in a supine pose. She's using a strap around the feet so that she can create a balance in the pelvis. If I just swing out over here, you'll probably see, if I were to lie down with my legs relaxed, often you'll see one foot rolls out more, one foot rolls out less. What then would happen when I lay back is I'd have more weight on one side of the pelvis than the other. So that's why Rachel's using this setup. It's a great method for all of you to do shavasana like this. Okay. Now notice there's a little tiny gap here. Okay, so she doesn't put her bottom right up against the edge there. That's so that it's going to be easier to slide the buttocks towards the heels, and then she'll go back nice and slowly. It should go without saying, but I'll say it. You should always lie down, right on the middle of the mat. And then the blanket comes right into the base of the neck. Okay, so this setup, what it's doing is it's creating a little bit of lift at the rib cage. And then as the rib cage is lifted, the arms then fall back. So you'll get this opening across the chest. So especially for Ashtanga students who do a lot of the Surya Namaskar, the jumping, the vinyasa, this part's often quite tight. So to elevate the chest in this supine pose is really helpful. Now to start with, you're just going to take a minute now to completely relax the breath. Of course, you could do this same tutorial in a seated pose. Okay, so if you prefer to do seated pranayama, you can, but I would recommend you do the reclining. That's why we're showing like this. So the first instructions I'm going to give are the actions of pratyahara. So it's very simple. First, we just begin by relaxing the whole body, and we wait for a feeling whereby there's a heaviness in the legs, a heaviness in the arms. Waiting for heaviness in the arms and legs, it's almost like the first prerequisite of shavasana. Then, once you've got this heaviness in the arms and the legs, you'll feel it very obviously in the sensitivity of the hands and the feet. They go softer. Now we take the awareness to the eyes and relax the skin around the eyelids. As the eyes relax, even when the eyes are closed, you'll sometimes detect movement of the eyes under the eyelids. Allow the eyes to relax into the darkness. So it's as if the eyes actually descend. It's like they move back towards the back of the brain. So you abandon the eyes. As the eyes go towards the back of the brain, then it's like you gaze down into the chest. You gaze down into the space of the heart. So the eyes are relaxed, eyelids are relaxed. Now take the awareness to the skin inside the nostrils and soften the skin then. At this point, when you relax the skin inside the nostrils, you'll be able to detect movement and the temperature, the feeling of the breath as it passes in, as it passes out. At this stage, you're not controlling the breathing, so you'll notice you're more dominant in one nostril than the other, in one half of the sinuses than the other. So completely relax the skin across the cheeks and the face. As you relax the skin across the cheeks, the forehead, the face, of course you actually then feel the pathways within the sinuses opening more. So we need this feeling of being faceless. Then take the awareness to the ears. You relax the outer ears, but the outer ears aren't terribly interesting. As the ears relax, it's as if the ears slide back. So there's skin. I'm just going to touch you there, don't be surprised. So it's like the ears slide to that part here. It's like they slide back. As the ears slide back, you'll detect a change in the way you perceive sound. It's a bit like when you place your head under water if you're washing your hair in the bath. There's a feeling that the sound is more distant. Then the inner ears move inward. So eyes relax, nostrils relax, ears relax. Then take the awareness to the mouth, relax the lips. Pay attention to the outer corners of the mouth relaxing. Soften the hinges of the jaw. as you release the hinges of the jaw, detect there's space between the upper and the lower teeth. So the inside of the mouth is very relaxed, it's spacious. Now take another minute, keeping everything relaxed, and just observe your breathing without changing it. That's possibly the hardest phase. To observe the breath, feel the breath, but not change it. Obviously there's a movement up and down at the abdomen. You'll probably feel movement deep in the bowl of the pelvis. You don't change any of that, you let that be. Now, keeping everything fairly relaxed, just slightly switch the attention to the breathing and begin to elongate the inhalation and elongate the exhalation. Just a little bit. And now to help this process, keeping the breath even, I'm going to use the metronome. When the metronome comes on, you'll probably find that relaxation of the face, it gets a bit disturbed, that's okay. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Allow the breath to return to normal. Completely relax. Just keep resting. So just to mention about the Same Vritti practice, we're breathing in for a count of 4, breathing out for a count of 4. We're using the metronome now, but when you're doing this at home, you don't always have to use the metronome. If that feels comfortable, steady, you go up to 5. You repeat it. It's not a set amount of time. If it's comfortable and steady, you go up to 6, up to 7. We stopped at 8, but for many people you'll keep going, 9, 10, doesn't really matter. But you want to make sure you're feeling steady and comfortable and relaxed throughout the whole process, whether you're sitting up or whether you're reclining. You can also do this without the metronome, but the metronome for many people in the beginning does help the concentration. Okay, so there is both a concentration exercise as well as, well, some people don't call it pranayama because there's no kumbhaka, there's no holding, but you are learning to extend the in-breath and the out-breath. The other thing that it's worth mentioning is there's kind of like an expression that goes something along the lines of where the chitta goes, the prana follows. So it's like where you place the mind, okay, where you place the mind, the energy flows there. So it's similar to if I place the attention during the breath in the chest, the prana tends to flow there. Whereas if I place the attention in the abdomen, the energy tends to flow there. So you awaken sensation through choosing to place your awareness in a particular place. So when Rachel was doing it, you obviously see there's movement around this region. And one of the things that I tend to then, when I give further instruction, talk about is how we essentially try to get the diaphragm to widen along the in-breath, and on the out-breath we try to keep the broadness. So that's basically where you place the attention there, the movement of the diaphragm. And then there's also this movement here in the sides of the rib cage, particularly when you get to the deeper in-breath, so you're breathing in for 7, for 8, or whatever it happens to be. You'll feel you get more and more movement in the spaces here between the ribs. And then with the exhalation, you look for that cleansing quality. The cleansing quality in the abdomen, the cleansing quality in the bowl of the pelvis. You don't need to try and do bandha. This is one of the reasons we start lying down. There's no need to deliberately contract the pelvic floor. There's no need to grip the abdominal muscles. You relax completely. Also in the reclining shape, you'll relax your spinal muscles. so you'll actually have more sensitivity to the respiratory muscles. Obviously the primary respiratory muscle is the diaphragm, but you've got all sorts of secondary respiratory muscles, internal intercostals, external intercostals, the scalenes. You've got all sorts of muscles that will join in holding the posture. So sometimes you're upright, but you're actually too tense. And when you do the reclining pranayama, you'll really start to be able to feel a subtlety, and then you move more from the outer body to the inner body, which is kind of the journey we're going on when we go with pratyahara and then into pranayama. So this is just like a little taster lesson. You can repeat it as many times as you need to get the essence of it and the hang of it. And then of course you can use, like I was doing there, just a free app for a metronome with the ticking of a clock, and you can count yourself. Then of course you can also do it where you're no longer counting. You don't have to keep counting. Counting is just like a very preliminary basic stage, like a beginner would count along when they're playing music. So if I was playing the 12-bar blues, I'd have to kind of count for 8 bars and know to change, and count for 4 bars and know to change. But by the time I've gone around in a cycle a bunch of times, I don't have to keep counting. So in the same way here, I was counting to set you off, but later you just take even in-breath, even out-breath, and you'll intuitively get that rhythm more even. But unless you use the metronome, you'll sometimes be slightly deceiving yourself. You'll think your in-breath is always long, but actually your out-breath is always long. So this gives you more of a clue. Okay? So there's a bit of information about the Same Vritti practice. Hopefully you'll find that useful.